Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show. Yes, it's back, it's 2021. Wow, where's that year gone? We were back at Grassroots football in the North Liverpool JFL today. Baltic, freezing, and I didn't know, it was so slippy underneath, it was unreal. Anyway, few games on, not too many, and I think they were short of one referee. But maybe that was for a friendly, I'm not too sure, but the full fixture goes on next week, so it was very thin on the ground. Took a couple of walk arounds. It was nice to meet up with Ray Woodhouse from River Juniors, and a little gab to him, wishing people all the best for 2021. Fingers crossed it's a good year for all of us. It hasn't started off as a good year as it at the moment, because we're all in tier 3, and I feel sorry for you people who are in tier 4. At least we got a little bit of grassroots football on today, and it was a bit icy on the 3G pitches, so if that gets in a little bit over the next week or so, well, we could be calling grassroots football off. Who knows? And I know the forecasters have said that it's going to get a little bit colder through the week, so hey ho, no football on tomorrow, so I'll be in my studio on my little lonesome doing my little show for Sunday evening. We're in the 2nd of January 2021. That's flown already, hasn't it? I hope you all had a great New Year, so I should have started off with Happy New Year to each and every one of you. Let's just hope it went well. And I was surprised at mine, because for some reason you never ever, on a New Year's Eve, you go out the door if you don't go out, and you stand there and you let the New Year in. You hear the ships. It wasn't to be this year. Didn't hear any ships. I don't think they're travelling anywhere. But what I did hear was an almighty bangs. That was bonfire night all over again. So Mr. Rudkin, you did say you didn't know it was twice a year. Well, it was. People just went hell for leather. The fireworks were unreal. And there was that many people in the street, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. So it just shows you, people did stay at home. All the neighbours come out. It was nice to see all the neighbours waving along and saying Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one for each and every one of you. But yeah, it wasn't bad. Jules Holland, Alicia Keys, I put that on a little bit, but it wasn't the same. There was no audience, and she was just singing on her own. There was no atmosphere, so most of the night I was flicking through Netflix and then spending hours on my phone replying to all those well wishes who were wishing me all the best for 2021 and vice versa. That was good, but my battery kept running out, kept putting it on charge as phones do. New Year, but it wasn't the same, let's put it that way, but it was nice to see a lot of people out in the street. So Mr. Boris, it was working in my street in Bolton, in Liverpool. I don't know what it was like in your side of things. I know there's a few fines being dished out in what I've seen on the news, but I don't think Liverpool was mentioned in the news there. That makes a change. Anyway, we must have all been good on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And well done to all those families who took time out and got together and made the most of it, I suppose, in the snowy weather that we did have. A week late from Christmas. It wasn't a white Christmas, but in some places it probably was, but not in Liverpool. I don't know about your place, but wherever you are, I'd just like to wish you a very happy New Year, and 2021 let's just hope it is all made out to be good for you and everyone else. I know we've got heartache. Every year we all have heartache. It's never perfect in a year, is it? Calendar year, so you don't want those things to come. Someone said to me, he said, can't be too negative. Well, it's not, it's life. You know, being negative, being positive, we have to. We all taught negativity, we all taught positivity, and that's what we want in grassroots football as well. We want to try and push towards respect on and off the field of play. And I know one or two managers now are, if the referees don't turn up, are beginning to do their own games. Why not? If no referees are there. If we're going to have a shortage of referees, well, I suppose that is the way to do it. Managers, get on there and referee your own game. It doesn't cost you anything either, does it, I suppose? And that's not going against referees, it's just that there's shortage of referees, so you've got to put plan B into action, and that is the only way to do it. So it's no good moping around, no referee there, just get on with your game. We used to do it many years ago myself when I was running teams, and it didn't bother me, and as I say, it saved the club a little bit of money as well. So maybe that's the way to be, because your county FAs aren't open at the moment, and there's no courses going on. Not till March, it could be later now, couldn't it? With all these tiers coming in, tier 3, tier 4. Let's just hope that pushes away and we can start celebrating our own lives and moving on a little bit, because that's what it's all about. It's New Year, we're into 2021, and it's 12 months on since COVID, and we're still talking about it again. Let's just hope everyone can settle down and maybe have holidays. I'm still in two minds whether to book mine. It has been booked, but I really am not looking forward to it. For the simple reason is I don't know what to expect on holiday now with the Brexit. What charges are going to be charged, the new passports. It's just settling in now, isn't it? You know, where we just in the middle of COVID and Brexit, and now we've all got to work on that one. At least COVID took our minds off Brexit, to be honest, and I don't even know what deals we've got. I really haven't studied that because I couldn't be bothered, to be honest, because you just get browned off, fed up, and you just want things to happen and be positive. But we can't, and as I say, that's why negativity comes into things. And we've got to be positive when it comes to grassroots football. We've got to be positive on the touchlines. We've got to be positive towards the referees when the referees turn up. We've got to be positive to our committee members and to each other as well, and also show respect on and off the field of play, because we're pushing for that in 2021. I've got to get used to that now, because you write down 2020, whenever you do a date, it's always, you forget that it's change of the year and you keep putting 2020. I wonder how many people do that or are doing that now. But 2021, 2021, 2021, get used to it. Get the pens out and write it down. 1,000 lines, 2021. You'll get used to it very quickly. Remember that in school? Wow, you have to write 1,000 lines out. I don't even think the teachers counted them. I just thought they looked at them and that'll do. Isn't it? That's the way it was in school. I don't know what your school now, kids. If you're going back to school, that is, because London primary schools, I think they're closing now for another 2 weeks. I think that's going to spread. It normally does. We just need to keep out of tier 4, because it'll get worse then. Then it's going to tier 5, 6, whatever it is. Tears for souvenirs, as I say. That is the name of the game at the moment. But we have to think positive. Yes, let's get the negativity away. Let's not talk negativity. Let's talk positivity, and let's talk positive. Grassroots football is not back tomorrow, because it doesn't start till next week officially now. When I say it was officially today, 1 or 2 games on catch up. Not many, as I say. It was cold, it was blistery, and that didn't last there that long, because the games were finishing. Simple as that. So it was okay. Got up, got out, got a bit of fresh air. Done my run last night, and it was a killer last night, I must admit. The amount of times any drivers going past me and saw my lips, I was pushing myself to the limit, let me tell you that. Okay, it was over 10 miles in 2 days, 2.5 days since I've done the last. It was 10.8 and 10.1 last night, and I really can't work these apps out. 10.1, and I've done more hills, and I know I've done more hills when I looked at the app, but I know I left a little bit out, but I don't think that was 0.7 of a mile. I really don't. So I'm going to run it again and put my app on just to see how far that was. Not me run, me 10-mile run, just that little bit that I left out. It only take me 2 minutes, and I'll just check the app, and I've done it then, because I felt a little bit guilty, but I just couldn't go anymore. I went right to the end, and boy did I pick the hills. It was silly, but I've got to get my legs motivated, and I need my knees motivating, because they are still a little bit sore. I'm not surprised, over 21 mile in a couple of days, but I need my physio, Paul, and he'll be in touch with me no doubt today, tomorrow, and tell me when he's coming out to me. So it's going to be a really hard slog on those knees, but he's got my back right. Thank you very much, Paul. Maze up with that one. You did say you'd do it, and I'm over the moon that you did it. Physio's worth the weight in gold. Never ever used to use them, but swear by them now, I must admit. Top man he is, excuse me. Lazy grey, it's gone cold very quickly because the weather is Baltic, as I say. So if you've been wrapped up and nursing some hangovers, I know one or two you have, that won't happen to me because I'm on the Beck's Blue. Non-alcoholic, works a treat, it's like lager. If you've not tasted it, just try it out. And I know if you drink lager, you're going to go, oh no, that's not. But if you're not drinking, well, that's worth it. There's all kind of non-alcoholic drinks out there now. And it really, really refreshes. Now, I've gone 10.1 mile and 10.8 mile without a drink. Maybe I'm going to try a little bit of water, but I hate carrying the water when I'm running because it bounces in your pocket. You need to take that weight off you. I've had knee supports on. I don't think they worked last night. I don't know what they're supposed to do. I've got a back support there, thankfully. I haven't used it. Touch wood, I may not use it. It cost me a few bob, but it's lying there and it's there for a rainy day, let's say. Anyway, it was a good run last night. It was a killer of a run, and thank you very, very much to the people who sent me photographs in. Didn't know, and you saw my face, it was full of agony. I won't put that up because I was really, really pushing myself. I wasn't posing because I didn't know people were taking photographs of me, and you're welcome to take photographs. I'd love them for my album because this is going to be unique, this marathon from Warrington Town Hall to Liverpool Town Hall. It's unique. We designed it, it's never been done, and who knows, we might put Warrington on the map for the Liverpool Marathon. That could be the next step because you have the Liverpool Marathon and it's all around Liverpool. Warrington Marathon's all around Warrington. Why not Warrington to Liverpool, Liverpool to Warrington? You know, let's have turns to peace and do something positive. I'm hoping I'm an inspiration for you. I know one or two now. I saw a lot of people out there yesterday running, and I know people are in a race when they come against me. I've got one pace, I'm finding my pace. They're racing against me, they're really running past me as if to say you're going too slow. But little do they know that I'd had another 7 mile to run. There was one chap there who ran with maybe his grandson, maybe his son. He must have been about 8 years of age, and they sprinted past me. It was as if they'd got to do it, and it was at Stanley Park, which is a killer. I put a post out, if you've not tried Stanley Park, the hill going up towards not Priory Road, towards Anfield Road, try it. That hill is a total killer. Coming into the back end of Anfield Road and across Stanley Park. Honestly, even if you walk it, please try it out. It is a killer, and I've done that twice around. But to me, wow. Anyway, these are sprinting past me anyway. They come up and they done 100 yards past me, and I kept one pace. And by the time they got to the bottom, the dad or the granddad was coughing and spluttering, doubled over, racing, doubled over, and I just motored on and carried on with my 6 mile. That's what it's all about. I'm not racing, it's like road rage, I suppose. It's like running rage, and they've got to beat you home. It's happened about half a dozen times to me now, and I just smile to myself, and it just gives me inspiration just to carry on. I don't speed up, I keep my normal pace. But saying speeding up, I was a faster pace last night on the run. Maybe that had a little bit to do with it. I don't know why I went in daylight into darkness. Normally it's darkness and just carry on with my run, but it was one of those things. I managed it, but it was a killer. It really does get hard. Someone said to me, it really does get easier. When I work out, I have another 16 miles to go on top of that. I start looking to myself and going, wow, it's going to be hard. Anyway, welcome to the top, Manchester United. You joined with us. Level games, we're 8+8, I think, in the Premier League. You're all fighting. I must admit, I had no idea that Man United would be up there. I just thought they'd fall back, but they are up there. And that's due to our failure, basically, with our drawn games. But they're struggling. Villa were unlucky. That should have been probably a draw overall, but it wasn't. Everton didn't perform. West Ham did. So it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, where I said from the start, Everton are going to burn themselves out. They're in the cup. They're using the same players as many times as they can, and they haven't got a big squad. So you can see the burnout, and one or two players are unhappy when they get substituted, and it goes throughout the whole teams. But if you're not scoring goals, well, that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Anyway, No more on the Premier League at the moment. We've got a game on Monday evening, Southampton. That is going to be a very tough game, but I hope that Man United, being where they are now, has lifted Liverpool, and those players have realised and say, do you know what? Well, they haven't been playing bad, they just haven't scored, and that's what it is. They're creating the chances. My God, if some of you lower teams out there were creating the chances that Liverpool are, you'd be over the moon, you'd be ecstatic with the football. But because of the way we are, and we're league champions, every team turns up against us. But that's always been whether we're league champions or not. And I know we're probably disliked a lot over the country, but I'm just a football man, a football team, they're just football players. And I don't know why we're hated, but anyway, it's one of those things. If you dislike us, especially if you're Evertonian, I understand why I'm an Evertonian, but the rest of the country, not too sure. Is it because we play some good football, we win too many titles? I don't know. But people have gone for us. It's going to be a tough old season, and hopefully we get all our players back and we'll march on and then start putting the performances in like we did last year, and I don't think those teams will cope with us once again. It'd be nice to win 2 on the run anyway. But there you go, Premier League, it's all back in action without the fans, which is sorry. And it's going to be Tier 4. I don't think there's any games in Tier 4 in grassroots football. Tier 3, 1 spectator allowed per child, so we carry on. But please, social distance, you need to. You've got to remember, we don't want to move into Tier 4, so remember, put your masks on indoors. I had mine on today, and where to treat them. There's plenty of people wearing the masks, I must admit. Okay, looking at that one now, we're on to 3 minutes left of our show. Hope you're enjoying it. If you've got any feedback for us, because I'm starting to write a column in the Walton Torch. The Walton Torch is going to be grassroots football. It's going to be referee profiles, it's going to be team profiles, it's going to be about grassroots football. Let's try and keep COVID-19 out if I can. That's what I need to do, keep that away from grassroots football, but it's going to be very, very hard. What am I going to write if there's no grassroots football? I don't know, that remains to be seen, but I can certainly write what you're doing. You send in any details, any stories you may have for me, mal@don'ttexttheline.com. We'll follow them up, we'll get some information for you from the FA, from the county FAs, and we'll put that in our column. No problem whatsoever. So, we need more stories, and I'll be doing my own as well, because I'll be walking around at the grassroots football teams, leagues as well, and we'll send out some volunteers to get some stories, and we'll put that into perspective as well and put that into the column. So there's a few of us working on this monthly column for the Walton Torch. It's a local paper that's going to go bigger and bigger and bigger now that I'm writing for it. Now grassroots football is coming back into it. Obviously we can't put a lot of stuff in there because I think names and scores are banned, as we all know. League tables are banned, so we won't be doing that. And why not? Because safeguarding, that's all about that now. And we've got to safeguard our children. We've got to make sure that we safeguard the referees and the children on the field of play as well. We want you spectators out there, irate parents, whoever you are, and managers, to just behave on the touchlines, shout encouragement. That is allowed, not verbal abuse or showing aggressive behaviour. And these verbal comments towards a referee will hurt them. We don't want that. We want good stories, we want positivity in grassroots football, so we can write. And I don't think we'll be putting much negativity into our column. We want to make it interesting, and we want a few pictures as well. And hopefully I can pin Shannon, she's a cracker. She's going to be coming with me and get 1 or 2 pictures as well. She's going to work closely with me, and we're going to make sure that our stories go wide, very, very wide, all over grassroots football. Excuse me, but I have a little cough because I haven't shut up. Anyway, I'll be training again on Sunday. I'll be doing over my 30 mile. Don't forget, if you want to donate, please go onto GoFundMe page and look for DXTL, a run for Emily, and you'll find us straight away. There's the link, put the money in, and we can appreciate you. I'll thank you because I get a reminder of an email, and thank you very much to our last donator, £50 donated. Wow, brilliant. Keep it coming in. We're not asking for a fortune, just as much as you can afford. If you can afford it, please. If you can't afford it, just share. Share, other people will pick up on it, and we'll write our stories and update them all the time. And that's a run for Emily, Wallington to Liverpool on the 7th of February. Haven't got long now, and I hope the team is doing well. Otherwise it's just me running. Why not? I've trained for it, I'm training for it, and I'm determined to do it. It was never going to be a run, and now it's suddenly cropped up in my life. So I need to take it on, and I need to finish it if I possibly can. And I hope I get everyone's support. And I've got a little idea that might bring the teams out on the day. Well, I think now that we've come to the end of our show, we have. So feet up everyone, enjoy 2021, and please respect everyone when it comes to grassroots football. We'll be back again tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. If you've got any stories for me, don't forget mallet.com. In the meantime, put your feet up, relax, have a nice drink, watch Netflix, watch a film, and we'll see you tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So for myself, Matt Lane, all the team here at the Grassroots Show, Don't Cross the Line and Respect programme, yes, it's back. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night. God bless.